Premier League Team of the Week including 3 Brazilians, but no Divock Origi. Little has changed in the Premier League title race after wins for both Manchester City and Liverpool over the weekend. Pep Guardiola's team were at their brilliant best at the Etihad, hammering championship-bound Watford 5-1. The Reds, meanwhile, overcame a stubborn Everton side 2-0 at Anfield to keep the heat on the reigning champions. Elsewhere, there were wins for Burnley, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Newcastle. Manchester United, Tottenham and West Ham all lost ground on the top 4 race, while the Toffees are now facing the prospect of playing championship football next season. But which players excelled? Here is Mirror Football's Team of the Week, and there's no place for Divock Origi. Burnley moved 2 points clear of Everton in 18th with a 1-0 win against Wolves on Sunday. Pope enjoyed a solid afternoon at Turf Moor, making 4 smart saves to ensure Raul Jimenez and his colleagues got nowhere near the home goal. Pope has endured some difficult spells in recent years, failing to make a Premier League appearance during the 2018-19 campaign, but is back to his best and must be in the running for a World Cup spot, regardless of whether Burnley remain in the first tier. What do you think of our Team of the Week? Let us know in the comments below. It wasn't a great weekend for right backs, to be honest. Trent Alexander-Arnold had a nightmare against Everton's Anthony Gordon on Sunday, while João Cancelo failed to make his mark against Watford 24 hours earlier. Cash gets the nod for keeping a clean sheet against Leicester on Saturday. Yes, that's the requirement this weekend. But what do you want me to do? Pick James Ward-Prowse at right wing back like Garth Crooks has done for BBC Sport? No, thought not. Janssen produced a superb display to stop Tottenham's Harry Kane, Son Heung-min and Dejan Kulusevski from scoring at the Brentford Community Stadium on Saturday evening. The goalless draw was crucial for Brentford, who have reached the magic 40-point mark. Against those players you can't really switch off, admitted Janssen when asked about Kane. But I think I had him for most of the game, with all the respect for him, he's a fantastic player, but yeah, he didn't score, and I think I kept him under control. Speaking of goalless draws, Mings did an excellent job by keeping Patson Daka and the returning Jamie Vardy at bay at the King Power on Saturday afternoon. It was a much-needed point for Villa, who ended a run of 4 consecutive defeats. The centre-back, 29, has had more than his fair share of critics during his career but will be confident of retaining his place in Gareth Southgate's England squad. It's also great to see him playing consistently after the injury problems he had during his early days. What a boy Robertson is. After scoring Liverpool's opening goal on Sunday, he aimed a cheeky dig at the Toffees in his post-match interview. "I've been in a relegation battle before, so I know what it's like," said the Scotland captain. A great piece of banter. Robertson was referring to his final season at Hull City when he was relegated. His quality performances that term earned him a move to Liverpool, and he's since become one of the best left-backs in the world. So, not all bad news for Everton's struggling stars. We just expect him to be good, don't we? De Bruyne produced another iconic display on Saturday afternoon to keep City at the top of the Premier League. His 2 assists, including an outstanding cross from the right, secured his spot in our TOTW. Erling Haaland is reportedly set to move to the Etihad in the summer and he will be licking his lips at the prospect of playing in front of De Bruyne. If he stays fit and signs for City, Haaland could end up scoring a ridiculous amount of goals thanks to De Bruyne. I just think Ward-Prowse is neat, and I'm not the only one. The Englishman scored another 2 cracking goals on Sunday to salvage a 2-2 draw against Brighton at the Amex. The first was a trademark free kick, while the second was a low strike from distance. Surely, a team competing in Europe has to sign this majestic midfielder in the upcoming transfer window. He's now scored 10 goals in all competitions this season and, at 27, is in the form of his life. He certainly wouldn't be a bad signing for Erik ten Hag. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be crying at the sight of Guimary's name. Thankfully, I'm not and can enjoy this brilliant Brazilian, who was heavily linked with a move to the Emirates before joining Newcastle in January, in all his glory. Guimarães scored again on Saturday afternoon to help the Toons secure a 3-0 win against Norwich at Carrow Road. Newcastle are now 9th in the Premier League, which is remarkable to think they failed to win any of their first 14 fixtures. Speaking of brilliant Brazilians, it would be impossible to ignore Jesus after his 4 goals against Watford. He'd only managed 3 in the Premier League this season before Saturday. And we're led to believe City don't have an N09 in their ranks. The truth is Jesus is not consistent enough in front of goal for Guardiola to depend on. He's never broken the 15-goal barrier in the Premier League and, considering the service around him, That's just not good enough. Still, he deserves credit for his 4 goals on Saturday. Joelinton? At centre forward? Yes, the seemingly impossible has happened after his brace against Norwich. The 25-year-old has often been deployed in central midfield by Eddie Howe, doing very well, but proved he can play up front on Saturday. It leaves Howe with a welcome headache for next season. Does he continue with Joelinton in midfield? Or does he push him forward? Steve Bruce always viewed the Brazilian as a striker, yet most Newcastle fans would agree it's not his best position. Pick Origi. We hear you cry, but we simply can't ignore Welbeck's performance against Southampton on Sunday. The former England international scored a good poacher's goal before setting up Brighton's second with a glorious pass and run. Welbeck has been criticised over the years, but, when fit, there's no doubting his quality. And he's still only 31. Let's hope he can stay fit over the next few seasons and enjoy more afternoons like Sunday.